Everyone. Welcome to the Five Beans podcast, where we dive into the topics surrounding personal growth and overcoming challenges. Today, we are tackling the issue of academic pressure, examining its impact on mental health, coping strategies, and the pursuit of success. I'm Naman Gursani, and joining me today is Dr. Kamal Guradi. Sir, can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Naman. I'm Dr. Kamal. Okay, I am associate professor with Amity School of Insurance Banking Actual Science for the last 40 years plus, and I'm taking care of IT courses with respect to insurance banking actual science. Right.
Wonderful, sir. Sir, without wasting any time, we'll dive right into the questions of academic pressure. So the first question being is how can a student handle academic pressure and maintain a healthy work-life balance?
Sure. Like if we say basically things about the academic, the pressure. Okay. If we talk nowadays, as such, academic, the pressure we don't have so much in the terms of the courses. Uh, Earlier time, when a student used to study, he was having a lot of pressure in terms of their marks, in terms of the program what he is studying. But nowadays, I think rather than the academic the pressure, students should focus that what kind of the future kind of the goals that he is having. He should set the timely the goals what he is making to do so. Also, I will say that academics, the pressure these days is a very open kind of things. To study a UG program or to get through a PG program, everybody gets a good score. But finally, the academic pressure would be saying that on what kind of the job, what kind of the company goes at the last.
So you just said that academic pressure is not in terms of course. Why didn't you say that?
Yeah, sure. Like, see, these days, if we talk about any, the company, like every student, has to go for some business, has to go for some work, has to go for some, job. Nowadays, if we see that it's a very competitive market, right? To remain in that market, to get a job, a person should be able to open-minded kind of things. Education, I will say that education is the basic thing which will go, in that level. He will be getting an entry level. But at the end of the day, we need to see the business, the perspective. That's why I'm saying that academics are something like easy kind of things.
Okay. Sir, if you just said that academics are on the little on the easier side, so do you believe that if a person is not getting a degree, but on the other hand, he's upskilling himself? Let's say there are a lot of freelancers out in the market that are dropouts, but they have crazy skills. They are earning a lot of money. What do you think about that?
To answer your question, it always depends. If a student, the person I mean a student, right? Well, so if he is having out focus kind of things, like he has already set his goal, what kind of objective, what kind of mission he want to go for the future. He's already been clear. Like you were giving example, like the college, the dropout, they do wonders in their life. Right? If he has already set up those things like dreams, obviously he can achieve. But to get a qualified job, he should be able to get a degree because, like as I said earlier, that it is an entrance to go to any company.
Okay. Moving on to the next question. So, when you were a student, can you share a time when academic pressure negatively impacted your mental health, and what strategies did you use to cope up with that?
I will say that academic has not been a negative impact on that thing. As a student, when I was student like your age, I will say that it's very easy to say, but there are few steps. If we followed those things, obviously your mental level would be good enough. Like I will just say three things. First of all, as a student, if you want to have a more focus, if you want to learn something, he should always ask the question. He should be having a power to ask question in front of everyone. The confidence that begins. not only ask question, I would say that nowadays it's open-minded with the open thing with the internet. You can with a click of the things you get everything. Not only those things, it has become more the faster the chat GPT AI. So he should be able to have that thing that he should be able to get the things. Most of the questions will be answered, and he should have that experience that how we can get the things in an easy manner. Search the things. I can also link that thing by a a fourth standard student or a third standard student. He was coloring. The ma'am gave him a picture of a horse. He was coloring the horse with the color as a pink. So now the question comes that we have not seen any pink color horse. But he is having that kind of the power of if he think about that kind of things, imagination that he's having, that if he put some light on that horse, the color will change. Obviously, the natural. So he is having that kind of imagination. So ask question, that is very important.
Sir, I believe that not in, I feel everywhere, schools, colleges, your work life, people do not have much confidence, or some are even pressurized that I can't ask questions. What is your view on that? कि उनके पास इतना confidence ही नहीं है कि वो हाथ उठाकर questions पूछें.
Well, in that manner, like I will say that the student and a teacher to be having a good communication, or it should be having the work of a teacher is that to be a student with them. In terms of that, the student should be free to ask. That the student should have a confidence. He can ask in any kind of the language. We have seen that people they don't speak English in an easy manner. They may be having a background of a Hindi or any other language, right? So, like right now, if we say that we are all open, right? A student should having a power to ask a question in terms of any language. It should be able to understand. The complicate should be important. So I will say that I have seen in my life with the UG students specifically, they do a lot of mischief at the class. When they're sitting at the back, when the sound comes, they can do anything, right? You have also had that experience. But I think if the sound has been raised in a positive way, we should stand that student. In fact, if they are not asking question, I will say that we should ask the question of them so that the confidence will be good enough. So, and he should having a regular kind of a debate or a kind of quiz kind of thing, so the confidence can be there. Plus, I will add one thing. Students should also get the motivation. A motivation gives him a good thing. If we take that student in front of our student and he say that he has done this type of good thing, obviously the power of that student to ask question will be more.
Sir, I will deviate from the topic a bit. You mentioned the point related to motivation. Students nowadays rely on the internet for motivation. They'll watch videos of some of the biggest motivational speakers, Sandeep Maheshwari, Prakhar Gupta. Do you believe that students should rely on these things?
See, it's very difficult to answer yes or no. But I will say that if a person like the motivation speakers, if they are giving something which can change your mindset in a positive manner, then I will say definitely yes. Why I'm saying yes, there is our life cycle and having different phases of our ages. If we go, let's say I start from the end stage where we become as a senior citizen. Okay, we have done all work, all things, all everything, all settled down. So now to get those things, like we always learn something about things. Like I was saying that ask question. Second thing I want to add like that, we always say that human values, you must have in a committee used human values, right? So we always say that help others in terms of anything, not in terms of that the money you are giving. You can help it in the education, by a cloth, by giving him the correct address. In the same way, a motivation can be, students can be, you ask me the motivational speakers, if they are giving something interesting facts which can be laid to your life and which can change your life pattern, lifestyle, which can be a good motivation for a student. yes, I will say that.
Okay, sir. So coming back to the topic, the next question is, how can student deal with perfectionism possible? So the next question being, how can a student deal with perfectionism in academics, and what advice would you give to students struggling with it?
Uh, See, to be perfect, I will say no student is 100% the perfect, or no student is 100% not kind of perfect. So again, like you asked me the first question, that whether that the pressure of the marks or the academic is much more. I will say that the student should be average kind of things. Nowadays no universities, no school get fail. Even the student should be a balanced kind of thing. He should not be able to not attend any classes for a month. He should be able to attend classes, a regular kind of things. He should be able to not only attend the classes, he should be able to student learning outcome. Like we have a SLOs in every course, that what intake I'm getting for a day, for a month, for a semester, for a course, and how I can implement those things in the practical lives. So, like can you repeat the question? What is it?
So the question is, how can a student deal with perfectionism in academics, and what advice would you give to?
See, I have already said advice would be like that. He should be implement those things in a daily life, in the business life. Okay, like whatever you learn, how the thing will be used in the company, in the corporate or entrepreneurship. And if he is able to link with that thing, the motivation, the inbuilt power, the resilience, what he is having, it will always be a glory to be positive in life.
Okay. Sir, extend this topic a bit. So students over here look for academic validation, to actually improve their life somehow. They'll be like, अगर मेरे इतने अच्छे marks आए तभी मेरी life अच्छी जाएगी. What are your views on that? कि हमेशा वो एक academic validation, एक तो parents का pressure आता है, then उनके खुद के मन में एक academic validation रहता है कि मेरे को इतने marks तो चाहिए ही चाहिए if I want to pursue a good life. What are your views on that?
Like your question is like that, how he can be a successful human being.
नहीं सर, the question is कि academic validation क्या सही है? कि अगर let's say someone who is not good in studies, does that have a correlation that he'll not be successful in life?
Not exactly. You yourself has said that those who were a college dropout, if we see that the Facebook, the Mark Zuckerberg, and there are so many other things are also, not only those things. Indian brother Ritesh Agarwal, right? He is having a 100 billion company, So these are the certain examples which are not only thing. If I'm not wrong, the Birla Tata, they were also have not been able to yes, not done the fully education what is required. So I think it is always an interest on a person. If he is, it doesn't mean that obviously from the starting stage, from the basic, from the childhood, he should be able to clear with kind of the concept. He should know what is good, what is bad. Academics, obviously, it always deal with it, that if he is having a gold medalist, or he is doing a first, or he is a topper, or he can be a scholarship holder also, right? So obviously the motivate to get himself. But I will not say that the 100% that those who do a well.
So the question was कि हाँ यही कि अगर वो gold medalist है तो he has that pressure कि मेरे को हमेशा gold medalist ही रहना है.
Sometimes it depicts. Sometimes it will be having a problem. The people always see that person from the family, from the teacher, from the peer pressure, that he will be always doing is the best of it. But actually, since obviously that if we ask, like I can give an example. During the World Cup match, we all seen that India-Australia, they was doing a wonderful. During the last final match, what has happened? The entire episode of the World Cup, let me say, So the pressure you can think on the Indian players, what the pressure and what kind of that, the feedback they received. So, if something, again, it depends upon that student only, how much the pressure he takes. What I said in the beginning is that whatever the input thing was student need to take, rest he should ignore. If he is having that habitual kind of ignoring, or if he's not taking what is not being required for him, he will do the bill.
Perfect, sir. So the question is, what resources or support systems should students rely on when facing academic challenges, and who did you rely on in your early school or college days?
Well, very, very well question you have asked me. Like, when I was a student, I did my 12th standard, if I'm wrong, in 1987. That time, I think you were also not born. We were not having internet that time, frankly speaking. So we were on the notes what the teacher or what the professor was giving to us. That time, I don't know whether the student knows these days a photocopy or not, because everything has become as an e-resource. So we were having those kind of things that, we used to write too much. Nowadays, a student is not having to writing. Nowadays, the application-based word is there. Lot of things are getting thing. So library resources, we used to go to the library and we need to, consult or get a book to get the notes, to get the work. And also we were studying in a group right of discussion. When the teacher goes, we used to sit at one place and we used to study. Nowadays, if you ask me what are the things, nowadays I think it's a very open kind of an environment. The students are very well aware that if they are having interest, what kind of the topic the teacher will go to discuss, what kind of things that he will go to discuss, because what resources as a teacher is having, student is having more. Only you should know that how you can search those topics in this setting. So I will say that internet is having a much more powerful, and again, these days, lot of the social media also having impact on that.
Sir, I'll ask a personal question. How was your early school or college days?
Early school and the college in terms of what? How I was in academics or
academics overall?
See, I will say that I was not studious kind of things. I was not a backbencher or not a front bencher. As the normal human being, what I'm having. I never thought that I will be landing up in my academics. Although I was working for an IT company for 4 years, HCL I was working. Before I started my career in 2002, from 2003 till 2006, I was in HCL, the corporate, and I got a chance to go to abroad. I've been working with Bahrain, and academics I generally started over there. If you ask me, well, in the school level, I was a very average kind of a student. Like, I was not into, although in our times, nobody get a 99%. The highest percentage was 75 or 80. So I was below, middle of that range, 70, 80 only. Not a, and I was a very normal, I always take the things because, there are lot of things to learn in your life. And learning is that thing never ending. I will say that a small, a kid or a student nowadays is having a much more power in terms of their own things. Like, the internet has changed the perception of a person, right time we are in. So I think we should learn more and more things to get an update kind of thing, and that kind of thing.
Did you focus on extracurriculars as well?
Yeah. See, we were having a lot of sports kind of the activity. We used to have in drama, debate, sports activity, the culture activity, a lot of things we should, and we were doing well in that. Although nowadays, if we see in the academics, whether it's a school or a college, lot of things have been added. That time we were having an annual day or a 1 day program, something like that.
Perfect, sir. Sir, the main problem that students are facing right now, that is procrastination. And how they always complain that they are not motivated. They have the problem of procrastination. Have you faced similar problem maybe in your work life or in your school life? Have you faced that?
See, the major problem to a person, whether it's a student, whether myself as into the academics, laziness. We always get lazy very soon, very oftenly. And now if we talk about, let me talk something into a technical, education 4.0, industry 4.0. I am a person, those who from education 2.0, where we have seen the radio, the television antenna, internet was not so much a common. We were having lot of things which we have earned to get those things. Earned means, I'm not saying that I have been working, I'm getting money, but slowly things have come, and we respect those things. We don't get bored immediately because we try to, the life was not so much pace and fast what you are seeing right now, right? Motivation is very much important, whether in your family, whether your parents does, whether your sibling does, whether your family members does, whether your peer friends does. If you work for it, a corporate will be having. So I think you need to be happy. You need to make yourself happy. That is the most important. If you are making you happy, you should be able to motivate, compliment to yourself. Nowadays, in your youth, education 5.0, we are reaching to 2025 would be era of education 5.0 industry. The people are more into social media. I'm not saying it is bad, it is good also. But they say that if I post that thing, how much likes, how much comment here, how much reach it has got. But ultimately, if you see after certain years, 10 years, 20 years, nothing is important. So I think you should be having to make these things. I think the time, the mechanism, techniques, you should have those things. You should have underline the boundaries that you are able to reach on those things. And lastly, I will say that nothing is difficult in this science, in this life. So you need to make the bigger problem into smaller steps to reach to the goal, and the motivation you should be having automatically.
If you're passionate about the goal.
Yeah. Or I will say that the last thing very practically, 7 days a week we have, right? Why we have Saturday, Sunday, or why we have Sunday? We should have a 1 day break. We should enjoy. We should take rest. I think Westernized culture is getting more, bettermenting. I would not say that they are into bad indulgence kind of things. They have a proper 24 time management. They say that 8 hours, 8.5 we'll work, 8 hours we'll sleep, and 8 hours, it is for our own. And same day they follow. That's why if you see that, we don't want a person or a student should study for 20 hours a day as output, we get nothing. If he is able to study for 4-5 hours or whatever the time required, and we're giving output very, that is good for never.
So you said the productive time is more important, right?
Yeah.
Narayan Murthy, recently there was a news out there that a person working should have, I guess, 70 hours. There was a news, right? 70 hours a week. What are your views on that?
70 hours he has not said. He has said around 42 hours.
I guess I read
70 or 70?
70, 70.
70. See, I will say that although we are working 24/7, don't you think nowadays if we don't think so much, I don't know whether you are the student, but our mind is always open. You can think about that. If you send a message to XYZ person, and you will be having in your mind that why he has read my message, but why he is not replied to a message.
Sir, वो तो अलग बात होगी ना, वो productive काम तो हमारा.
But these are the small chunks of the things that we are having.
So, but Narayan Murthy said that productive work hours should be 70 hours a week. That's the
again, it depends to person. There are, nowadays we are having a smart working kind of the concept. Work from home is also there. Although we have a timing for office for 8 hours, 10 hours, but obviously he is working for 10 hours a day. If we convert the 10 hours, it comes 70 hours a day. Or I'm saying that during your doing your household activities, everybody is working these days. Your mind is always active. You must have seen like that, once you woke up in the morning, the first thing what you do?
check WhatsApp.
Open your phone, whether it's an internet mode or not, then you say goodbye, and then WhatsApp. And after that, your day begins, whatever daily activities are you want to do. So your work, although you directly you're working. As a student, you feel that you're not working, but I will say you're not working. Maybe in kind of a productive work, or maybe some kind of other work. But yes, you're working. Sure.
Okay, sir. So next question is, in this world of pressure, there's pressure all over the world, right? The academic pressure and much more. How can a student manage this pressure? And what are some self-care tips do you recommend?
I will say in a very easy go, whatever the person like to reduce his pressure, he should do. Like for example, I will not say there are so many gurus, mantras, meditation, yoga, self, healer. So like if I ask me, I don't do these things. I whatever I like, I like a company with you, I'll go with you. Or you like a company with me, I'll go with you. Or we have a group of, we have a school friend, college friend, corporate friend, academic friends. We have lot of, not only those things, we have a social gathering with the family. You should join some NGO. Like I have joined my NGO and we are working all together where you can solve multiple things at one go. Like you feel happy. You are giving some kind of your money, what you're earning, and the people who required, they're getting support. And then we having we help with the education, we help them with the food, we help with those things, and you enjoy with them. That kind of, and I'll say that the managing academic pressure, what you are thinking. Also, I will say that to make your things, you should be having a parameter that, I have said that for you, maybe a different, you can go to a movie or movie theater and you can feel happy. And after that, I will say that whatever the happiness you gain, you should always do your 100% to your work, whether in your study, whether in your, life, whether things you are running. And lot of the problems you'll be having, the life work is equal to a problem, light of challenge. So you should heal and you should tackle those things.
Sir, in the previous podcast as well, we had Mr. Sudhir Singh Tanwar, and I asked him a question that to be organized and to be focused, is journaling important, and is that somewhere correlated with academic pressure as well? If a person is journaling, can he reduce that pressure?
Journaling as in?
Journaling is basically where you write about your day, and at the end of the day, you write all the problems or what are your goals and everything.
Okay, got it. And nowadays, Google says that key. Have you
Keep notes.
Yes, you can say that daily task activity you doing.
No. I mean, first your point is correct about your daily tasks, but also your experience throughout the day. What did you feel? How did you feel? How did someone else make you feel? And also some short-term goals, some long-term goals every day. A person who is journaling every day, does that help manage academic pressure?
Yes. You're asking me point of as a teacher or a student.
Journal,
not as a student. Not I will quote one a likely example, and then you can live with that thing. Right now, you would be going in the coming time for interviews, right? You will be going for the corporate world to seek a job, and you will be having lot of certain kind of the parameter, CV, a shortlisting, then you have a GD, then you are having a technical round, then HR round, and finally you get a placement, right? GD, obviously, there is a topic that you need to stay on for and against that you will do. A technical round is having some question and HR round you're having. I will say that a student, a person who is looking for a job, even for me also, want to say, he should be able to write those questions in one day. Suppose a technical question answer, even though you have an answer right, or something you have not answered well. So they should be able to write those things and they should make a separate set of it. And believe me, once you go at home and once you write and once you find out the exact answer, same question have been asked again in any interview or in any life, you will be having much more confident and you will be able to speak in a much better way. In the same way, if you are maintaining your daily routine life or you are maintaining some short-term goals, long-term goals, or whatever you feel like, I will not say that everything is bad, everything is good, depending on how you take away, right? So it is always good enough. You will be getting a self-motivation, self-power. And finally, I would say happiness is very important.
Perfect, sir. Can you share your perspective on the importance of failure and resilience in the academic success?
I will say that the failure are the success of the pillar. More you fail, more you earn. Again, do not always stop. If you get fail, I will say that to go to a Mount Everest, you will be many times you will be falling down, right? In the same way, you should be always having a fostering growth in terms of your thing. Like Rome is not built in a one day. You must have heard. I hope everybody knows is the beautiful city, which has been naturally developed. Naturally, no human intervention. Not like New York, or nowadays Noida also. You can see mini Japan we call it. So I think you should be able to. This is the first thing. Learning from the failures, which I already said that you will be getting that thing, and building resilience is very important. To have those kinds of things, to make those things in a much more better, and you will be having a much failure, and more you fail, more you earn.
Perfect, sir. It was a wonderful podcast.
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure I enjoyed it. I'm pretty sure the audience will enjoy it too.
Sure.
Thank you for coming, sir.
Thank you, Lavan.